welcome to video number 2 of Schoology Essentials, and this is a video about creating assignments. My name is Glenn Irvin, and I'm an instructional coach at Sauk Rapids Rice High School. And last video, we covered the essentials of basically creating an online presence, working and setting up your profile, accessing and editing your notifications and settings, and then also how to add a profile picture and a course image. During this video, what we're going to be working on are assignments and creating what we call robust assignment packages. Basically being able to use all of the functionality of Schoology to be able to go ahead and create great assignments. Please feel free to pause this video, take notes, and especially experiment in your own course with all of these different functions. Like always, if you get stuck, please feel free to reach out to myself or to another instructional coach for assistance. Now let's go into one of my courses and take a look at creating assignments. Okay, so now we're inside of one of my sandbox courses, and in order to make an assignment, very simply what we're going to do is click Add Materials, and then the second option is Add Assignment. So let's take a look at the Add Assignment box here and make sure that we know what we need to do for each one of these things. Probably the most important thing is this part right here where it says name. It's important to give the name, which we're going to call a title. Make sure that it includes whatever the learning topic is, and it has concise details that would assist a student or a parent in identifying what is in this assignment that you're creating here. Also make sure that the title matches any other title you're referencing inside of the descriptions of the assignments or in anything else you're talking about as far as in class. So for our purposes, we're going to go ahead and come up with a title here. And I'm going to pretend it's for one of my Spanish classes, so I'm going to call it Spanish 1 Preterite Essay. The next section that's available here, and it's not required, is the description. I highly recommend filling in as much as you can give as far as details of this specific assignment. This will assist you in any students that were not in class or students that were just not paying attention, or especially those students as parents or guardians. They can go in here and basically get a great idea about what is this assignment and what do you have to do. Let me fill mine in and give you an opportunity to take a look at it. Okay, so let's take a look at what I've done here as far as in create assignment. First of all, in the name or in the title, I've written a specific description of the assignment. It's called Spanish 1 Preterite Essay, so students know what they have to do. I even put that it's a rough draft, and I put the point value there. It's something that I like to do, and I wanted my students to know what is this worth as far as the number of points there. You can or decide to not do that also. Then inside of the description, I think this is one of the most important parts that I believe that teachers should use, is tell them exactly what they need to do. Spell it out for them. In this case, I put describe an important or memorable moment in their lives. And then I put be sure to be specific about what occurred and include the date. And I told them they have to write it in the preterite tense and the minimum number of words it should be. I also said feel free to use your notes and that we took in class about the preterite. And I put something here, and it's hyperlinked to a document or to a web page outside of this assignment. So I've easily done that by just highlighting the word. So let's say I was going to highlight the word class, and then I just hit this little link button right here, and then it allows me to go ahead and copy and paste any URL from the outside. So a student can easily click it, and they know in this case they're going to get notes about the preterite tense. I also added a video here, so if they wanted to go ahead and, for example, access this video that I had made before, they could easily access that by just clicking on this link here. So simply watch this video. And then I put here specifically what do I actually want. I want them to submit a rough draft as what kind of file. I said as a Google Doc, and I told them to make sure they give me editing rights. Now, there's a way to be able to do this very easily by using something called Google Drive Assignments, which we'll learn how to use later. But right now, I'm just giving them specific details about what I actually want. So the description is super important, and you can add links in there within the description itself. But if you wanted to add links also, you could add them there at the bottom of the assignment. which you can also attach files there also. So let's take a look at some of these functions right here. The first one right here is files. So I would say files are going to be things like images, or especially things like PDF files. Those are the kinds of things that I see teachers add to the file section here. You just simply click File, access whatever document you wanted. It could be a movie or MP4 as it says here, an actual image file, or let's say it was going to be a PDF of some sort. You can add any of those types of things very, very easily to the document itself. The next one is the link there, and basically you can add the link instead of embedding it up here in the text. You can just add the link at the bottom here by just clicking link, and then just copying and pasting the link here. You can actually change the title if you want, and then just attaching that file there very easily. The third thing here is the resources, which you don't have to worry about right now. We'll talk later about resources and how to go ahead and add them to your assignments. As we go down the list here, there's a due date here, which is super important to go ahead and fill out. Make sure you always add a due date to assignments. So we're going to say this one's going to be due February 15th. Give it a specific time. Unfortunately, the default time is 11:59 p.m., which I think is really frustrating. I would change this time to some kind of normal time, 3:15 or whatever the end of your school day is, or the end of your class period. Change that date or that time there. And then the point value, make sure you assign it a point value so the students know what it is, and it also assigns that point value to your gradebook. And then finally here, we're going to take a look at categories here. And I've decided to call this category assignments. And you can create any of the categories, choose any of the categories here, or you can call it ungraded. Let's say it was for formative assessment or something like that, something that you're just practicing as far as in class, but you still wanted to create it as an assignment. You would use the ungraded category here. But I'm going to go ahead and choose assignments so that it appears in the gradebook and it counts as points there. So the couple of other things to go ahead and take a look at as far as the assignments go, and they are at the bottom here. The things that are grayed out are basically turned off. Let's just take a look at the things that are not grayed out so that you know what those are. And then the second video about assignments, we'll talk about these things, individually assigning to students, being able to set things to specific standards, locking assignments, and those things. But let's just take a look at these three things that are actually turned on as a default to every assignment. The first one here is basically, can a student submit an assignment digitally? It is turned on by default automatically, so submissions are enabled. Basically, that means that a student can submit a digital assignment, so a PDF or a link or whatever it might be, an image or whatever you actually want there. You can turn this off simply by clicking on it, and it turns it off and disables it. And if it's turned on in color again, you're enabling it. The second thing here is, do you want this to be published to your students? By default, it's green. It's lit up. Yes, you're going to publish it to your students. For example, if you create an assignment ahead of time and you don't want the students to see it, you may want to go ahead and disable this and unpublish it. They can't see it, but you can. So let's go ahead and publish the assignment. If you do unpublish an assignment, just realize that it will take it out of the gradebook on the student side. So make sure that you understand that and that you publish it when it's time to go ahead and do that. The final thing that is turned on by default, and the last thing we're going to talk about here, is this little dialog box there. It says comments are enabled, so the students can comment on the assignment. This is great for when students need to ask a question related specifically to this assignment, but it also can be annoying if the students are abusing it, writing inappropriate comments or just any kind of extraneous dialogue, and you can easily turn it off by clicking it there. So I'm going to leave it on there, and I'm going to press create. Automatically my assignment will be defaulted to the bottom of my assignments page. So I have a bunch of other different things going on here, folders and some other assignments, but at the bottom you can see that my assignment is there. I can easily move my assignment by dragging and dropping it to other places too, very easily. But that's basically the synopsis of building or creating a basic assignment package. If you have any questions, let me know. Adios.